on CTV News at 5.
We will not run and hide. We will stand proud and tall as Jews because this is who we are.
Hanukkah is marked with heavy hearts, but the Jewish community stands strong.
It just kept growing and growing, and now we're up to 13 homes, which is almost 1,500 pajamas, nighties, and specialty sleepwear.
Jammies for Grammys and Grampies. Alyssa's Angels spread comfort and joy to Maritime seniors.
It's helped me first and foremost to connect with Oliver even more.
And Oliver's Polish Christmas, a familiar face, releases his second children's book.
Increasing cloudiness with a few flurries tonight. Temperatures rise in a gusty southwest wind tomorrow.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Pano-Palace. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, holiday in mourning. Jewish communities around the world mark Hanukkah with a heavy heart this week after the unthinkable attack that killed 15 people in Australia at a celebration. As CTV's Vanessa Wright reports, here at home, the local community is heartbroken by the violence but refuses to be intimidated. Vanessa.
That's right, Maria, and unfortunately, this isn't the first time the Jewish community has been a target for violence. But no matter where in the world it happens, the impact is felt right here. The Jewish community is in mourning after a mass shooting claimed the lives of 15 people in Sydney, Australia on the first night of Hanukkah.
For a joyous holiday like Hanukkah in particular, it's very difficult because we can't celebrate unreservedly. We have to, number one, mourn those who were killed and wounded, and also be concerned about our own safety.
It's a reality Mark David says the community knows all too well, as violence and hate crimes against Jewish people have increased.
Since October the 7th, but even before that, all our events that we've had in the community we have to make sure that security arrangements are in place, have people that are always very concerned and diligent about security. When something like this happens, the sensors go off even more.
The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs says there is concern violence on that level could become a reality in Canada.
We have synagogues that have been firebombed. We have Jewish schools that have been fired upon. There's a woman, 71-year-old, who was stabbed in a supermarket in Ottawa. All this to say is that the threat is present in Canada. And let us not kid ourselves to think that Canada is immune to this type of thing.
Following Australia's massacre, police agencies across the country have vowed to increase patrols. Halifax Regional Police have upped their presence at local synagogues and Hanukkah gatherings.
We reflect on our own community here in Halifax, and we know that what happens abroad actually has impact here. So obviously, we express our condolences to the local Jewish community as well, and want to ensure them that we are dedicated to ensuring that they have a safe and peaceful holidays.
As the community stands together in the face of unthinkable tragedy, they are kept strong by Hanukkah's message of resilience.
This country is our country. This is our society. We will not run and hide. We will stand proud and tall as Jews because this is who we are, and this is the lesson of our history.
And Mark David says he hasn't seen a reduction in attendance to synagogues and Hanukkah events in Halifax, but says some people in the community are hesitant to wear Jewish symbols because of the rise in violence. Maria.
Oh, so much sadness. Thank you so much, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us in the news center this evening. All right, we're going to head over to the anchor desk now, where Bruce Frisco is standing in for Todd Battis this evening with a look at the headlines. Hi there, Bruce.
Hey, Maria. Halifax Water topping our newscast tonight. Customers will be paying more in the new year, but it'll be a little bit less than what the utility asked for. The provincial regulator has apparently sent Halifax Water back to find better ways to deal with its debt. So what does this mean for the numbers? Well, we'll tell you tonight. CTV News at 6.
Allocate those funds somewhere on a joint project.
Also tonight, New Brunswick has signed an agreement with Ottawa streamlining the environmental impact assessment process. During this news conference today, there were plenty of questions about the status of the proposed Sisson mine. CTV's Laura Brown has more on what was said about Sisson tonight on CTV News at 6. Also tonight, we're in the busiest travel week of the year for Maritimers, either traveling to be with family for the holiday or perhaps heading south. In fact, officials at the Halifax airport say this Friday will be their busiest of the holiday season. Travel agents say there are a few changes in where Maritimers are heading this year. We've got details on that when you join us tonight for CTV News at 6. Now, we'll check for our first look at the forecast. We'll check in with Kaylin over there in the CTV Weather Center. Much nicer day today than we had the last couple of days.
Yeah, I'm sure travel was a little bit easier on the roads in the region today, although there was still this morning a risk of some snow squalls around eastern areas of Nova Scotia. That situation improved moving into and through the afternoon. We are left still with some flurries coming in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence into areas of Cape Breton, other parts of the region tonight. Partly cloudy conditions and maybe with some isolated flurries around. Now, temperatures are still cold this evening. We're going to be at our coldest tonight between around now and midnight. And then after that, during the overnight hours, the southwest wind will actually cause temperatures to rise a little bit before sunrise tomorrow morning. Currently, though, we have temperatures that are mostly in the range of around -3 to -5 in New Brunswick, though -1 at Grand Manan and St. Stephen. Around -5 and -6 for communities in Prince Edward Island. The current temperatures for Nova Scotia mostly in the range of -3 to -7. Wind chill is a little bit of a factor, making it feel a couple degrees colder, but the winds have come down significantly compared to yesterday. So right now, as we check in on those winds, they're mostly out of a westerly direction. They're being sustained in most cases between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. There's a few coastal stations around the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia with a sustained wind closer to 30 and reporting some gusts near 40. Also one gust in Cape Breton at Grand Etang near 50 kilometers per hour. Speaking of Cape Breton, still seeing a few flurries drift in there. Also looks like there's a little bit of flurry activity and around the Minas Basin in the area between Truro and down towards Kentville. There's also a chance of a couple of flurries over the next few hours, working their way through western areas of New Brunswick. Southwest wind will be developing overnight as we get squeezed between a low pressure system making its way through Ontario and Quebec, an area of high pressure just off the eastern seaboard of the United States. That southwest wind, it picks up for tomorrow. That does mean that our daytime high temperatures on Wednesday are going to be a fair bit milder than the last couple of days were, many getting onto the plus side of the scale. And I'll have more of the details of that coming up later on. Maria.
No complaints of that. It's been a little chilly, Kaylin.
It has been.
More on that a little later. Thank you so much. Right now, though, we're going to take our first break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, something cozy for Christmas.
Hi, we're from Alyssa's Angels, Jammies for Grammys. And coming up, we'll explain to you just how we work.
Hi. Everybody say Merry Christmas as we get ready to take Santa. Oh, what? Oh my God, the Grinch is coming. Grinch took off with our candy.
So that escalated quickly. The guys from Howie Centre Volunteer Fire Department Station 9 were enjoying their afternoon when the Grinch came to steal the fun and the candy. Thankfully, he did not steal Christmas. Have no fear, the authorities arrived and apprehended the Green Bandit. Just a little reminder that you gotta watch your back this time of year. Very good. All right, so a story now about a mother's dedication. Patricia McNeil lost her daughter Alyssa in 2020. Now, every year she collects pajamas and sleepwear to donate to seniors at Christmas time in her memory. CTV's Mike Lamb checks in on Alyssa's Angels.
So this is our 5th year for Alyssa's Angels Jammies for Grammys. We're very proud of how it's grown over the years. The initiative was to buy pajamas for one wing of a small nursing home in honor of our daughter who had passed away in 2020, brain cancer. Alyssa's favorite thing was always to give pajamas at Christmas. She loved them, she loved to give them. So we decided we'd take a small wing and provide pajamas for that wing. As soon as my friends and family found out about it, the first year we finished 1 home. The next year we moved up to 4 homes. It just kept growing and growing, and now we're up to 13 homes, which is almost 1,500 pajamas, nighties, and specialty sleepwear. We get our pajamas from our Alyssa's Angels. So to become an angel, you just contact us either through Facebook or Instagram, and we'll provide you with a Grammy or a Grampy of your very own. We give you their first name and their size and their preference. So your job is to go out and shop for your Grammy or Grampy, drop it off to one of our locations, and we bring it back home here. We wrap them lovingly, handwrite a card from you, and they're all delivered the week before Christmas. So all the seniors have their gifts before Christmas morning. I know that Alyssa's looking down at us, and she's so proud. It's thanks to my girlfriends and our Alyssa's Angels. I can't take credit for this. It's the angels out there that provide us with the pajamas and love to share their love with everybody else. And that's my girl. My girl made a difference everywhere she went. She had the biggest heart, and I know she would be very proud. And if she were here, she'd be right in the middle of it.
Merry Christmas! That's the absolute truth. I was lucky enough to know Alyssa personally, and of course to know Patricia, and this campaign just keeps on getting bigger and bigger, and you're just amazing, Patricia, and you are spreading so much joy. I love the personalized element, actually getting a size and asking the seniors what kind of PJs they like. Very sweet, and a nice note to go with it too.
And warm PJs probably very appreciated on days like this. It was another cold day in the region, though at least the winds were down. We're looking at a lot of snow here in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. About 10 to 14 centimeters came down around Charlottetown. Not too far away, though, at Glencoe, they reported 19 centimeters of snow. I'm going to have more on the forecast after the break.
Welcome back. The New Brunswick SPCA is warning pet owners to not get complacent when leaving pets in vehicles because the cold weather can be as harmful as the heat. The warning comes after a situation in August when a dog died in Moncton after being left in a vehicle. The owner was recently charged, but the SPCA's chief animal protection officer says the same rules apply for cold weather.
And it's such an extreme change. And the dog's bodies can't keep up with that. Their internal system just won't let it regulate. And the same happens in the wintertime. And I think people may been neglected to understand that yes, it can happen.
Tony Porter says they've seen 3 consecutive years of increase in animal abuse calls in New Brunswick. So there you go. It'd be best to leave Fido at home if you're going to leave them in the car for too long. Kaylin Mitchell joins us now with a look at how things are shaping up outside, talking about chilly. Kaylin, it has been chilly the last couple of days.
Yeah, it certainly has been, especially during the nights and especially when the wind is going. Wind was still on the gusty side in parts of Cape Breton today. You can hear it here as we're taking a look out at some video footage. This is near Glace Bay, by the way. There was still a risk of snow squalls this morning in Cape Breton, but it sort of wound down to basically some flurries coming in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence as we made our way into and through the afternoon. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure is now actually tilted up towards the higher side. Over the next 24 hours, we're going to find ourselves in a spot in the Maritimes where we're going to be between an area of high pressure, which is centered just off the southeastern seaboard of the United States, and a low pressure system, which is currently coming up over Hudson Bay. Between those two weather systems, we're going to be put into a southwest wind that's going to be bringing in some slightly milder air up the eastern seaboard and into the region. It's cold this evening, and we'll hit our coldest temperatures between now and around midnight. But after that, that southwest wind will actually start temperatures upwards, and they'll continue to rise with highs tomorrow for the Maritime region getting above the freezing mark. Taking a look at things on radar right now, we do have some areas of flurries on the go. There's still a couple rounds of flurries off of the Gulf of St. Lawrence for parts of Cape Breton. It's also an area of some scattered flurries off of the Bay of Fundy and the Minas Basin. It's around central areas of Nova Scotia. There is a chance, about a 30% chance, that a few of those flurries could drift through the Halifax area. And we've got another small area of some scattered light flurries just coming into western areas of New Brunswick right right now between Perth and over McAdam. Low chance that a few of those could drift through the Fredericton area over the next couple of hours. Aside from that, as we move through tonight, we are expecting to see a little bit of increasing cloudiness by the time we get to around midnight, with further cloud cover increasing for the region into the start of the day for tomorrow. Now, during Wednesday, there will be a chance of flurries in northern areas of New Brunswick and parts of Nova Scotia, especially around the Atlantic coastline. Could see a little bit of patchy, very light drizzle. Otherwise, in the morning, it's mostly cloudy, but in the afternoon, the sun does break through a little bit for the region. You're going to notice the wind for tomorrow. It'll be out of the southwest. It's going to be picking up to become blustery. The change in the wind direction begins by around midnight tonight. Southwest winds at that point sustain 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, maybe a few gusts up to around 40 for coastal areas. And then remain in that southwest wind into and through the day on Wednesday. There'll be some fairly widespread gusts for New Brunswick between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour, but up to around 60 for exposed areas of the Bay of Fundy coastline. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow with some peak wind gusts near 50. And for Nova Scotia, the peak wind gusts mostly between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour, though exposed areas of the coastline in the southwest of the province could peak closer to 60. And low temperatures in the forecast for this evening will be mostly in the range of around -7 to -10 for New Brunswick. And for Prince Edward Island, around -6, where basically you are now for Charlottetown. And temperatures for Nova Scotia, lows this evening mostly between -3 and -7, though around 0 in the southwest of the province. High temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow for the province of New Brunswick between 0 and 5 degrees, getting up to 5 for Charlottetown and many communities in Prince Edward Island. And for Nova Scotia, the high temperatures in the mid to high single digits, so that'll be a range of around 5 to 8 degrees. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 8-year-old Marielle Mossop from Bedford, Nova Scotia. Marielle has sent us a drawing of the December full moon, and that is shining brightly in a dark night sky. Thank you, Mariella. Great job. And if you'd like to be one of our weather watchers, then come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. A warning now for anyone considering a loan this time of year. Don't fall for the advance fee loan scam. As CTV's Pat Foran reports, that's because the loan will never come through.
I don't want them scamming other people.
Linda Bailey of Pickering says it was in September when she went online and Googled loan companies. One of the first to pop up was Dynamic Resource Solutions. She contacted them and was told she could get a $20,000 loan, but she had to pay $4,000 in advance to secure the funds.
They came up and I read all their stuff about them. People gave good reviews on them.
Once Bailey paid the advance fee, the loan never happened. She was scammed out of $4,000.
I'm losing my car, I'm losing my home, I'm losing my animals, I'm losing everything.
CTV News emailed and called Dynamic Resource Solutions but did not get a response. There have been other complaints about the company made to the Better Business Bureau. Angela Dennis with the BBB says scammers often target people who have credit issues and who might not be able to get a loan through a traditional lender.
When people are paying these fees, typically they're being told it's for insurance purposes or an administration fee, and consumers are sending in their money and they're not receiving the loan.
To avoid the advance fee loan scam, beware if a loan is guaranteed and a credit check is not necessary. Be suspicious if you're asked to pay fees or a deposit in advance, such as insurance or processing charges. And be concerned if the company doesn't exist at a physical address. Bailey is now in a worse financial situation since being scammed out of $4,000, and she still has bills that need to be paid.
I can't get my money back. I can't get it back. That's just, it's the way it'll be.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Thank you, Pat. Time for our last break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, we'll open the book on this story.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Glace Bay, where tonight in the CTV News at 5, well-known political scientist Tom Urbaniak is out with a second children's book just in time for Christmas. It's a story of love, loss, healing, and the holidays, and it's coming up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Did you hear we're giving you $20,000 for the holidays?
Plus daily bonus prizes of $500 cash.
Listen for your keywords weekdays every 2 hours from 6 to 6.
Welcome back. A Cape Breton man, best known as one of the island's most prominent political scientists, has written a second children's book just in time for Christmas. And as CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, writing has helped him connect with his young son and overcome tragedy too.
A book signing isn't where you'd normally expect to find Tom Urbaniak, but today the Cape Breton University political scientist was at the Old Town Hall in Glace Bay selling copies of his second children's book.
2 years ago, I would have never imagined stepping into the realm of writing children's books.
The book is called Oliver's Polish Christmas. Though it's a fictional story, he says it's about his 3.5-year-old son's search for the meaning of a traditional Polish holiday.
In the story, Oliver, my son Oliver, visits his babcia and dziadzia, his grandma and grandpa, which he actually did in the fall of 2023 in Ontario.
On Valentine's Day 2024, Urbaniak's wife and Oliver's mother, Alyssa Etter, died unexpectedly following an illness. She was only 41 years old. Shortly after that, both his parents, Oliver's grandparents, passed away. Urbaniak says that writing has become part of his and his son's healing.
I'm still shocked that she's not here physically. Oliver had just turned 2 when his mom passed away. And he still has memories, direct memories of his mamusha, but I knew that it would be important to say a little more.
I think it's such a loving gesture.
The people at today's book signing were pretty impressed.
I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I've read a few pages, and it's so well written.
Urbaniak's first book, called You Are Loved, was written essentially to his son Oliver. Now that Oliver has gotten a bit older, this second book about Polish Christmas was written kind of in partnership with him.
It's helped me first and foremost to connect with Oliver even more because we've gone through drafts together.
Urbaniak says his latest book is dedicated in his parents' memory and that their legacy, along with his wife's, carry a broader message.
We're in a world torn by conflict, anger, hatred, animosity, jealousy, and this is saying there's a better way, and love is a force, and it's a force that lives even when our loved ones are not alive and with us.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Glace Bay.
What a beautiful message, and finding the light in some darkness, and also just making the rest of us appreciate that as well. So thank you, Tom. And of course, you've seen Tom on our air before as a political scientist expert. So nice to see you wearing a different hat.
Adding some more positivity out there in the world for sure. Yeah. Coming up at 6, got to talk more about weather. We do have a rainy and windy weather system coming up at the end of this week, so we're starting to look ahead to the details at that, and I'll have that.
Thanks for watching, everybody. CTV News at 5 will be back tomorrow. The national